raining outside, but why stay in? March 25th, the sky is gray, a little bit of a wind today, and it is raining. And there's lots of puddles. Look at those reflections of the trees in the water, sending little waves. Watch the trees wiggle. Can you hear the rain on my umbrella? It's a comforting sound for the day. Another thing you can do on a rainy day is actually play in the mud. You can tell a lot about what kind of soil you have by the color. This is very dark, which means it has a lot of organic nutrients in it. And if you can squeeze it and it stays in a ball, it's got a lot of clay. It must have a lot of clay because look at how poor the drainage is. All the water just sitting on top. Another fun thing to do with the mud, I got too much in my hand, let me take some out, is to make a worm by squeezing it. And if it stays together, that's pretty much some silty clay in there. But it's so dark, so it does have a lot of nutrients. In other areas of the yard, soil looks much lighter. I'm going to dig some of this up. Not as much organic materials in this area here. Still a bit of clay though, because look, it's sticking together. Even when you poke it, doesn't fall apart. So put your boots on and grab your umbrella. Go outside and get some inspiration for a rainy day. So here's my nature journal page for this rainy day. The thought of the day today is the world is mud-luscious and puddle-wonderful. This is a quote from E. Cummings. I have my metadata, my name, the date, March 25th. It's Wednesday with gray skies and it's raining. I noted the temperature and the humidity from my little weather station. And I looked online to see what the wind is today, and it's about 9 miles per hour. I made 3 call-outs on the page. I did draw the reflection of the trees and the concentric circles that the rain was making and what happened to the reflections as I made waves in the water. And I wrote a lot about the puddle images because that's where I was playing today, in the puddle. And what I said was, put on your boots, grab an umbrella and go out in the rain. Walk until you find a puddle. Stop and stare into it. What do you see? There are so many layers. I see the reflection of the trees. I can see the gray of the sky. I can see the leaves at the bottom of the puddle. Where the dark trunks of the trees are reflected, I can see the bottom of the puddle more clearly. On the surface of the puddle, I can see the effect of the falling raindrops. From where the raindrop hits the water, concentric circles are moving outwards in all directions. Now disturb the water with your boot. Watch the reflections wiggle in the waves. I add another quote at the bottom of the page. Some people walk in the rain, others just get wet. And you know me, I'm walking in the rain. Then I journaled a little bit about the mud. One way to test for clay soil is to try to make a snake out of a clump of soil. The soil needs to be not too dry and not too wet. If the snake holds its shape when poked, the soil may be clay. If it starts to crumble a bit when you poke it, it probably has some humus in it. If the snake completely crumbles, it's probably sandy. Our soil has lots of clay, very poor drainage. This dark mud has lots of nutrients. The lighter or gray soil has the nutrients leached out of it. And I marked the sounds of the day, rain on the umbrella and rain through the downspouts. A good resource for discovering things in nature is The Lost Art of Reading Nature's Signs by Tristan Gooley. He even has a page on mud. Soil comes in many colors, and early in the 20th century, an American named Albert Munsell developed a unique system for trying to label them all. The Munsell color system is still used by soil scientists to this day. In fact, it is so effective at labeling different colors that it helped create the system of color swatches we flick through when deciding which color to paint our homes. This is what a Munsell soil color chart looks like. You get a little notebook, some instructions there about different types of soil. And then we have the soil colors. It has these little holes, and you hold this up and you put the soil sample underneath. And then you write the codes on your sheets. You can see why it looks like the paint samples we use today, doesn't it? With the chroma and the hues, the values from light to dark, and the more intense the colors. I'm not a soil scientist, but this is what they use to figure out what kind of soil you have on your property. Got some interesting color soils here, green and yellow and gray, orange and pink and red. The color of the soil and the mud we walk over can offer clues. The darker the soil, the more organic matter there is in it and the more nutrients it will contain. Expect rich and varied plant and animal life. The character of soil is not limited to color. Texture is important. Mud that can be rolled into a ball is very different substance to crumbling dry matter that falls apart to reveal grains of sand. A ball that can be rolled into a snake-like thread will contain some clay. But there's no need to get your hands dirty in every walk, and I made a little note there, but why not? It's fun to get your hands dirty. Thanks for journaling with me today on this rainy, gray day. Bye-bye.